Nikki Haley is a Trojan horse for Democrats, and Gavin Newsom just confirmed it. How's it going, guys? Welcome back to Unwoke Thoughts. Today, we are talking about Nikki Haley and the fact that she is not really a Republican. She's not a true Republican. Everybody knows that she is just a rhino, and she is out here attacking Donald Trump and attacking the fact that he has all these lawsuits against him that he has to spend time to defeat. And instead of going after the corrupt justice system that is constantly going after Donald Trump because of his ideology, because of who he is, because of the fact that he is America first, she is going after Donald Trump and saying that he is not good for the American people. When quite the opposite is true. When you look at our leaders in the American government today and you try to find something good that they do for the American people, what is happening? What are the big problems that we have going on right now, and how are they being addressed? The border, our crumbling infrastructure, our veterans, homeless problems, fentanyl, drugs. How are they being addressed? Seems like there's a lot of crickets there. But instead, what do we get? We get more bills that send billions of dollars to Ukraine and Israel and Gaza. Foreign aid just seems like it's at the top of everybody's mind when it comes to coming up with a bipartisan solution to something. And you got to wonder, where is all this coming from? Why is nobody focused on the United States? And then you look at candidates like Nikki Haley, and she is exactly the reason, people like her rather, are exactly the reason why America is in this mess today. And that is probably why California Governor Gavin Newsom is praising Nikki Haley for helping Democrats make the case against Trump. And he calls her one of our better surrogates. That's pretty interesting. That's pretty ominous. He called Nikki Haley a surrogate. They are not even hiding it anymore. Everything's out in clear view now. We all had suspicions about Nikki Haley. I was 100% convinced this lady, she is not working for the American people. She calls herself a Republican. And in fact, I really don't even know what a Republican is anymore. I don't really have any affinity for the Republican Party anymore. And I more look at, is the candidate, is their rhetoric, is it America first? What are they saying? What are they doing? Are they being attacked by the right people? Is the media attacking them? If the media is attacking them, they are probably doing something right. Are people like Gavin Newsom aligning himself with them, or is he attacking them? And in this case, Gavin Newsom is quite literally aligning himself with Nikki Haley. But listen to this. Republican presidential candidate Nikki Haley has become one of the better surrogates for Democrats in 2024, California Governor Gavin Newsom said Friday. And guys, I'm going to play a video of him saying this here in a little bit. Haley, who is Donald Trump's last remaining GOP primary rival. Yes, the last one, even though she has lost every single one of her states that she has ran in, including in Nevada, where she lost to an option that potential voters could choose. And it said none of these candidates. And none of these candidates beat her out by 66%. So she's still in for some reason. Nobody really knows why, but Haley has attacked the former president throughout the race, arguing that the 77-year-old is too old to serve another term in the White House and warning that his chaos will hurt Republican chances at the ballot boxes in November. Quote, I think she's one of our better surrogates, so I hope she stays in the GOP primary race. Newsom, 56, told CNN host Jake Tapper, arguing that her criticisms of the former president are spot on. Quote, I hope she does well tomorrow, at least well enough, the Golden State governor added, referring to Saturday's South Carolina GOP primary, where Haley, the state's former governor, trails Trump by more than 23 points. Yeah, this is her own home state, and she is trailing by more than 23 points in her own home state. And she called a press conference, her campaign called a press conference the other day. They didn't say what the press conference was going to be about. Everybody assumed that she was going to try to avoid the embarrassment of losing badly in her home state because the polls were really bad for her. And she came out and she said she has no intention of quitting the race. She has no intention of dropping out, and she will stay until every vote has been cast. And when I heard that, I was like, you got to be kidding me. Why is she staying in the race? There has to be something deeper than this, because we all know she is not doing this based off of principle, even though she says that she is. She's saying that she has a country to save, and she's making sure that she is standing up for democracy and all these other things and trying to take out the chaos from the Republican Party. And that chaos she's referring to, of course, is Donald Trump. And she says she has no intention of kissing the ring, and she's making 99% of her campaign about trashing Donald Trump and who he is and these lawsuits that are going up against him, saying that he doesn't have the time to be president because he's got too many lawsuits. And not once has she criticized the actual corrupt justice system that is going after him. So that's very telling right here. But, quote, I'm enjoying this primary, and I hope it continues, so I wish her luck, Newsom added. Haley, who has yet to win any of the GOP primary caucus contests, appears to have slim chance of beating Trump for the party's nomination. Trump has secured 63 delegates from wins in Iowa, New Hampshire, the U.S. Virgin Islands, and Nevada, while Haley has acquired only 17 delegates. And I think those were in New Hampshire, I believe. 50 delegates are at stake in Haley's own home state primary. While the California Democrat wished Haley well, he did not deny that she has a very slim chance of beating Trump. Yes, even Gavin Newsom is playing politics when it comes to Trump. It's kind of funny because Gavin Newsom has better things to say about Donald Trump than Nikki Haley does. What does that say about Nikki Haley? Gavin Newsom is actually realistic when it comes to Trump's chance of winning the nomination. He says Nikki Haley just has no shot. She has no shot. I mean, he wants her to stay in the race for obvious reasons, but he is under no illusion that she can in any way defeat Donald Trump unless, something drastic happens, unless one of these lawsuits come to fruition. But Trump's the nominee, Newsom asserted. We all know that. You know that. Everybody out there knows that. So yes, Newsom, as much as I hate to say it, in this case, is living in reality. Quote, there's no evidence to suggest, no polling to suggest, there's nothing to suggest, momentum or otherwise, that she can win any state in the Republican primary coming up. So he's saying that she has zero momentum, and there's no evidence to suggest that she could win any state, much less the nomination as a whole. Newsom noted that his assessment of Haley's chances is not intended to be dismissive. Quote, I have respect for the former governor, a lot more than the former President Donald Trump, he explained, but as I said, I wish her good luck in the context of being out there and making the case we're making against Donald Trump equally. So yeah. The Democrats, Nikki Haley, Gavin Newsom, they're all walking hand in hand trying to discredit Donald Trump and using every dirty trick in the book to do it, including propping up a sham candidate like Nikki Haley to try to discredit him and calling herself a Republican, calling herself a conservative. She was talking about how when she was younger that her town, the people in her town and her school were very racist against her because she's Indian. And I remember I saw a video of Benny Johnson actually went to her town, asked some former high school students that she went to school with about this, if it was a racist town. And some of these students or some of these individuals were people of color, were black people, were minorities, and they said, no, I've never experienced any of that in this town. And Haley is using these tactics that have been used by the left, liberals, Democrats for a long time. And when you start to see that, because these people, they just can't help themselves. It just starts slipping out because when they start losing, they start blaming it on all sorts of things that has nothing to do with their rhetoric, with their plans for the country, and with their ideology. But it has everything to do with the fact that they are victims. And Nikki Haley has not only played the race card now, she's also played the woman card. So that is a perfect tactic that the left uses all the time, and a very good reason to recognize that Nikki Haley is part of the rot that is in this country's leadership. But the Haley campaign has welcomed support from the Democrats in the hope that it would help take out Trump. A super PAC backing her candidacy sent out mailers this week reminding South Carolina Democrats, yes, that if they didn't vote in the party's February 3rd primary, they have a chance to vote in Saturday's Republican contest. So yes, her super PAC is specifically targeting Democrats or Democrats in South Carolina to try to boost her numbers a little bit. Quote, make a difference, the SFA Fund Inc. mailer reads, according to NBC News, quote, please participate by voting for Nikki Haley. But listen to this. Haley's campaign has also been bankrolled by more than 5,200 donors who contributed to President Biden's 2020 White House bid, including more than 1,500 who gave over $500,000 just last month, according to Politico. Wow. So 5,200 donors that back Nikki Haley also backed President Biden in 2020. That's crazy. I didn't even know that. In an impassioned speech Tuesday, the former South Carolina governor and Trump administration official vowed to stay in the race beyond the Palmetto State contest. Quote, "I'll keep fighting until the American people close the door," Haley said. The presidential primaries have barely begun. Just 3 states have voted. 3. Yeah, and those 3 states have resoundingly said that they don't want to have anything to do with you. And the most glaring one of these 3 states was probably Nevada, when they chose nobody over you, Nikki Haley, but she can't see the writing on the wall. I wonder why. I wonder if it has anything to do with her mega donors, the military complex that is backing her. But Haley has previously declared that she plans to continue her campaign for the GOP nomination until at least the March 5th Super Tuesday contest, when 15 states will hold primary elections. So guys, Nikki Haley is a friend of the Democrats. And a lot of Democrat voters are voting for her and using their vote strategically because they want to edge Donald Trump out of the race. But it is not working. But here is the video of Gavin Newsom talking to Jake Tapper of CNN and calling Nikki Haley one of their better surrogates. Listen.
Do you think that Haley or Trump would be easier to beat for him?
Well, first of all, I think she's one of our better surrogates, so I hope she stays in. I hope she does well tomorrow.
All the nasty stuff she says about Trump.
She's spot on 99% of it. So I'm enjoying this primary, and I hope it continues. So I wish her luck. But look, Trump's the nominee. We all know that. You know that. Everybody out there knows that. And I think the polls are suggestive. She's going to get well up tomorrow, and then she'll make a case, I guess, just to continue in this. But again, I have no problem her continuing for as long as she wishes, because I think she's making a good case against Trump.
Head-to-head polls suggest that she would clean Biden's clock. Yeah. And it's a tougher race.
Trump's the nominee. Everybody knows Trump's the nominee.
So
there's not a state that, with respect, there's no evidence to suggest, there's no polling to suggest, there's nothing to suggest, momentum or otherwise, that she can win any state in the Republican primary coming up. So it's just not. Donald Trump is the nominee. Everybody knows that. No, I don't mean that to be dismissive. I have respect for the former governor, a lot more than the former president, Donald Trump. But as I said, I wish her luck in the context of being out there and making the case that we're making against Donald Trump equally.
Wow, so this is very interesting. Guys, what do you think that Gavin Newsom means when he says that she is one of their better surrogates? That's very ominous, very mysterious. What do you think is going on with Nikki Haley? What does he mean when he says that? And what do you think about Nikki Haley continuing to stay in the race regardless of the fact that she has almost no chance against Donald Trump? What do you think about that? Let me know down below in the comments what you think. Like and subscribe to my channel. I would really appreciate it. But until then, I will see you on the next one.